I'm the motherfucker that's got big dick energy.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
It's just a fact. Now, you don't have to be embarrassed at that fact.
That's fucking weird, huh?
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
I told you I had this whole board here next to me with Post-it notes. I don't want to miss anything. So, listen, the next question I'm going to ask you may be considered like private medical information, and if you don't want to answer this, then I understand. But
it depends. Let's see what it is.
But let me explain this to you.
Okay.
I have a son who is autistic, severely autistic, nonverbal. In fact, he doesn't speak. But I've been around a lot of autistic people because of raising my son. He's 12 now, and one of the big criticisms about you is you're constantly asking for support, constantly asking for money. And I don't know, I've been observing some of this. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever been diagnosed with being on the spectrum or having Asperger's?
When I was growing up, that stuff, no one ever talked about any of that stuff at all. I doubt that a single doctor would have ever even like done a test or measured anything like that when I was growing up, unless you were like showing overt signs outward of stuff like that. No one ever talked about that stuff. You know what I mean? So no, I've never had a test. I don't know. You know, who knows? Maybe there is and maybe there isn't. I wouldn't know.
Well, I think, you know, and I could be wrong. I mean, I'm just an observer here, an outsider looking in, but it seems to me that you have a little bit of trouble like comprehending social norms. Like, for example, like, do you have a perception of like how many times during an average stream that you ask for support or money? Because that's one of the big criticisms too. Like,
do I count? No, I do not, because it's actually
can it take a guess?
It's directly proportionate to how much support I got during that stream. You know what I mean?
All right. So if you don't get support, you ask for it more. That's what you're saying.
Ask and you shall receive.
Okay, but do you understand that turns a lot of people off? Like,
absolutely.
Sure, and I hate to include this, but I'm going to include this. You know, I'm not a big gamer, but my son is. In fact, though, we're having a real problem with him with screen time. I just got him a new game today for his Nintendo, and we're trying to cut him down on screen time because it seems to me he's 8 years old. He's a big gamer. PlayStation VR, Switch, and he watches video game streamers. He watches Ninja and he watches Hassan and who is the XQC he watches. And you know, I asked him out of the blue, I'm like, do you ever watch Darksydephil? He goes, no. I go, do you know who that is? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, you watch these other guys, don't you like his show? And he goes, I watched him sometimes, but he asks for money all the time. Mm-hmm. And I almost was going to clip a video of him talking about this, but I thought, I'm not going to hit you with that. But like, there is a perception, even among people, and I swear I didn't coach him. I didn't know he knew who you were, but he's always either playing a video game or watching a streamer. So I thought maybe he knows who you are. He did know who you are. And by the way, he told me to tell you that he could beat you at what is it, Friday Night Freddy? He could beat you at any of those games, just so you know. But what I'm saying, Phil, is that there's this perception that I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Like in my world, it's customary to ask for support once, maybe twice through the stream. Like if you take a break in the middle, when you come back, you say something. But like, did you know there's a whole YouTube channel dedicated just to counting the number of times that you ask for money in a stream?
Absolutely. There's entire like networks, programs written to count the amount of times I say a single word in all of my content ever on YouTube.
And there's did you know there's an entire search engine called Pig Go?
It's just a fact. Now, you don't have to be embarrassed at that fact. Yeah, exactly.
Where you could search by keyword, but
that's right.
Listen, I'm trying to help you here. I really am, because I understand why people are like, you know, saying this stuff. And I thought they're got to be exaggerating. But then I found this Ferroni the tractor. I'm sure it's what you would describe as one of your detractors.
I mean, they call themselves the tractor. They have it in their name.
When you were playing Dark Souls, you asked for money 62 times. When you were playing light razzing, I don't know. He makes plays on words on the games you were playing. You asked for money 85 times.
Mm-hmm.
You tested a mic, and then you begged for money 31 times while testing the mic. And this one is just greed mode, beg count 58. Successful streamer begged 78 times. And I'm not going to play these videos because they're very disparaging. They like make you have a huge head and try to make it funny. Popeyes felt it, beg count 100. So to eat Popeyes, you begged for money 100 times. Flight Simulator, you begged for money 111 times. Call of Duty, you rage quit 9 times. They clip. And I got to tell you, I watched these with a counter going, he can't ask for money 101 times in one stream.
What is
wrong? They clip them all and they put them together. I don't know what beg more is, but you ask for money 101 times. We've got Wife is Strange, beg count 33.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Strange, I guess they meant.
Yeah.
Nightly Kingly begs count 65. Shadow of something 77 times. WWEC Ban World beg count 88 times. 145 begs in this stream. And all this person does, Phil, is go through your streams and then clip all the times you ask for money. And then they put it together, and I guess they make it kind of funny. I wasn't really like amused by this. But I'm just wondering, like, do you realize that you ask for money that many times in one stream?
Well, first off, I've never watched any of this content, to make it clear. I don't actually know how truthful that is. I
went through with a counter, Phil. He's right. I mean, unless he's like AI, he's got like CIA level AI to make these clips of you asking for the money.
All I'm saying is I'm answering this question in perspective of I have no clue if anything that a detractor puts on their channel about me is true or not. All I can ask is from my perspective, right? I haven't seen that content. I can't really respond to it. But no, I mean, I do ask for contributions basically as soon as I start my podcast. And if we're talking about how I did the day before, I'll mention, how we did. And I'll say, hey, let's hit the goals today. We have some goals in place. Here's the rewards coming up. If we have a reward that's scheduled, we'll talk about that. During each podcast, I'll mention it several times for sure.
Well, this is why I brought up the autism, because I don't know if you know this, but people with autism have like perceptual problems and social problems, and they don't recognize social cues. And like, that's what made me think that maybe you're on the spectrum, because a neurodivergent person or a person on the spectrum might not realize that they were asking that many times. And that this is what I'm saying. People with autism also have a problem with social norms. So like the social norm is ask for support once or twice a show. And I think most show hosts would agree with that. If you make 4 or 5, I don't know, but 88 times, 122 times, 56 times in one stream, it's a little bit extreme. And I think that's why your detractors go after you so much, because nobody. I'm not aware of anybody else. And this is what I did. I went to Twitch and I just started watching some random gaming streamers, and I got links from people to watch, and I watched from the beginning to the end. And over on Twitch, at least, most of the gaming streamers, hey, thanks for the support, give some subs, here's our goal tonight. And a lot of them didn't even have goals, but they would read the gifts or the tips or the cheers or whatever. But they don't ask so many times. So I think that's why, because it's just too much. You don't think it's too much?
Let me put it this way. The people who have issue with how much I ask are the people who benefit the most by bringing it up. It's that simple. People who make this kind of toxic content, an entire channel dedicated to counting how many times I ask for donations.
I agree. That's a little obsessive to count and to clip every single time that you ask for money together. But I have to say, Phil, regardless of whether you call them a detractor, they're factually accurate.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's the problem. They're factually accurate. Here's
the thing. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's a perception. Some people think it's a problem.
Don't you think some of the stuff is cringe, though? Like, for example,
of course it's cringe. It's meant to be cringe.
It's meant to be
over the top and cringe.
Phil,
that's the whole idea.
Was it last night or the night before that you were like, we got to hit this goal because I don't know if I can order Arby's
That's
tonight.
right. We got to get the Arby's the next day. You got to get it. My wife's coming home from work. She doesn't want to cook. Let's get the Arby's.
This is kind of a deflection, though. But don't you see how, like, what if I said, like, look, I would consider this cringe. Like, what if I was on my show and I said, I'd like to order pizza for my kids because I don't feel like cooking, but I need to get $50 in super chats first.
Okay.
I would never do that because I would think that is so cringy.
Well, that's different. Do you know the context of me actually ordering Arby's? Because it's not me just ordering dinner for my family. That's actually not what it is.
No, then you do the review of 3 sandwiches. Come on.
Right. Yeah, which is an ongoing series I've been doing over a decade. And I actually canceled the series and people gave me so much crap for like 5 years. These people were like, dude, why are you not doing the show anymore? We love DSP Trizzy.
But Phil, you just said that you couldn't order Arby's like 2 days ago.
Right, and that's different. That's a joke. That's because we were hamming it up. We want to hit the goal. We want to do
okay. I just want to ask you about the incentives and benefits. Like, do you really think that it's a benefit for your audience to see you put on a vest or put on a hat or eat a sandwich? Like, that's what you're rewarding them with? I don't get it. By the way, I'm an outsider looking in. Maybe that's normal in your world.
Well, did you know that I don't do that stuff anymore? Not the sandwich, because we've already talked about DSP Tries It. Are you aware those goals don't exist anymore? They were phased out?
Phil, on Smart Show this week, you made people give you money so that you could eat snacks on stream. That's another one of those.
No, I didn't make them. That's a reward for us hitting a support level. That has nothing to do with made them do it. So that they didn't do it because of that.
But you understand, it's the same as asking for grocery money almost. Like, send me money and I'll eat a snack.
You're probably thinking, well, how is Phil eating something a reward for his viewers, right? Well, there you go. See, I'll play devil's advocate to myself here, right? Like, here's the thing. If I were to say every time that we hit a support goal, I don't know, I'm going to raffle off something. I'll raffle off a portal coaster. We'll do this or that. So who benefits from getting the portal coaster? One person. One person will get this portal coaster. Everyone else who tries to get it, hundreds,
come on,
maybe
Phil.
thousands
What
of people,
about you got rewards for like showing people your underwear or your socks?
Those are jokes. You don't really do that. PPP and Ashton, or excuse me, PPP and I care about that. We're joking. It's incentive to try to get people to support, sure, but it's not a real reward. That's hamming it up over the top.
Here's where I think you can make some progress with all of your haters and detractors.
Okay.
Will you commit for the next 6 months to not ask for money for your bills, your mortgage, your internet payment, your car payment? Will you commit for the next 6 months to not beg or beg for money for your personal expenses?
I have not done that. I have not done that for ages.
I don't know, man.
Since I've been on the casino, since now I do something positive, it's a positive reinforcement to get a reward. It's not me asking for something to buy something. And
by the way, I'm learning from you. So I didn't start a goal tonight. So I'm just setting the goal now. We want 50 super chats, any amount.
There you go.
And I will eat Arby's for that. Thank you.
There you go.
Well, are you going to commit to not asking for personal expenses for 6 months?
Sure, because I don't do it now. Again, I don't ask for personal expenses.
I'm going to hold you to that. I'll be checking Pig Go every week.
You will. Now, here's what you got to do, though.
Groceries, mortgage, day off.
That's fine.
You can't ask for money for your day off either. You can't ask for money for your day off because that's a little cringe, Phil. But back to one thing. I got a lot of messages from disgruntled users of yours who were banned.
Okay.
And many of them said that they used to send you a lot of money, and some of them even sent me the receipts that they indeed were big contributors of yours. Do you, as a show host, believe in free speech on your show?
Free speech, as long as it's not insulting to the point of being personal, or that it's not doxing, that it's not something dangerous.
Okay,
and also insulting each other in the chat or other viewers, right? You shouldn't be getting into arguments or quarrels with other people, derailing the chat. Because, let's say, for example, I'm doing a stream of, I don't know, Final Fantasy. And you go to the chat and people are literally sitting there arguing with each other, insulting each other. What are you doing? I'm playing Final Fantasy. Why are you doing that in my chat?
How many people are you banning, though? Because, look, I was checking the Kick chat logs, and I only did one of the mods here. They banned 1,200 users permanently. Do you see that?
Yeah. Do you know why?
Wait, I'm still scrolling, Phil.
No,
You
that's
guys
this is
banned
easy.
1,200 users.
This is
1,200 users.
This is easily explainable.
And I was able to find some of the people who contributed to you on this list of permanently banned users. So when I hear you saying, "Oh, I got to get money or I can't pay my bills," and then I see that there's users that are giving you money that you permanently banned because they said something you didn't like. I don't know. And in your defense, I have a total free speech zone here. I don't ban anybody generally unless they say something really crazy like racist or, you know, whatever. But there's 1,200 users from just one of your mods permanently banned. Do you know how many you've banned since, let's say, December?
No, I don't count, but do you understand that those aren't real accounts? You know those are bot accounts, right?
Well, some of them are, but some of them are people
Most
that have
most of those
contacted
are
me.
bot accounts. That is
I don't know, Phil. I had a couple of phone calls with some of these people.
That's fine.
It
No,
seems
no.
real
Listen,
to me.
it's not everyone is a bot account. I'm telling you, the
The
vast majority of those are the
Feltoning,
same
that sounds like somebody that
the
I've
vast
seen.
majority. Here's the problem: is you can just make an account, jump in there, and start spamming, and then you get banned, and you're in there in 5 seconds with another account. I mean, you can talk to any moderator on my streams, and they'll say it's a nightmare with the amount that these harassment antics go. They'll come in and make. I mean, you would think, oh no normal person would do that. These people are not normal. These people go in there some days with 50 accounts. You ban one, next one, next one, next one, next one. Some of them, like I'll give you an example right now. You ready? Oh, here we go. I'm looking right now. What I'm doing is I've gone to my main channel page of my Kick account, and I'm trying to see. I can't see. I'm stupid. I can't see that far. I should open it up on my laptop. They make accounts that are insulting nonstop, and they'll just wait. I can see when they make a new account, and if it's an insult, the name is the insult. They don't even have to say a word. The name itself is an insult towards myself. Like it'll be like, you know, Phil's fat wife 204 ban. Phil, you know, the IRS is going to arrest Phil. Ban.
But 1,200 in a space of a couple months, really?
We're talking. Really? I'm not kidding you.
I haven't permanently banned or hidden 4 users in 4 years.
And I did a 12-hour live react to a 4-hour documentary about me that covered all of this already. Why would I drop from your show?
Well, now, because now things are going to get kind of spicy. So I have one post-it note here. Can anybody read what that says? It says polygraph test. It says polygraph test. I don't know if you know this. Ashton from Kino knows it, and Andy Worski know it, but I have a polygraph machine, and I'm basically certified polygrapher. So for the rest of tonight's broadcast, I'm going to ask you to answer all the questions truthfully. And then after the show, I'd be willing to come to you and administer a polygraph to make sure you're answering the following questions from here on in truthfully. And failing that, I happen to find a retired FBI polygrapher that lives right in your area, and he's kind of friendly with me. He's done a job for my show before. He's in Seattle, so he could just easily drive to where you are and administer the polygraph either at your house or at a hotel nearby your house. Would you be willing to submit to that?
For what reason? What benefit do I have to do that? Because
so that you could clear your name, like everybody keeps. Listen, Phil. Everybody keeps saying you're lying about a lot of stuff that we're going to get into next. So here's what I'm here for: Ashton from Kino and Andy Worski, who want you to have the redemption arc. And I thought, what better way of redemption than passing a lie detector test? What better way to prove all these evil detractors wrong? I've got a polygraph set up and a chair, right? It goes in a briefcase. I could take it on a plane. I could be at your house in a couple of days. I need a little bit of time to, get the plane ticket and figure it out. But like, Phil, what better way to shut up all your detractors forever? You say those bank leaks aren't yours, right? We'll put you on a polygraph and ask you that question again and verify that you've been telling the truth this entire time and you haven't lied about that. I think this is a great idea. And if you don't agree to this, it doesn't look good for you. Because it kind of looks like you're avoiding.
Let me fully respond.
Responsibility.
Shall I fully respond? Okay.
There you go. And by the way, that's 2 offers. And here's what I would do to make it completely fair. If you agree to it, I'll do a polygraph, and the FBI retired polygrapher. He's an expert, and he's a member of the American Polygraphers Association. He's a world recognized expert. He's worked on tons of criminal cases. Worked for a lot of high profile lawyers on the West Coast. I'll get us both to do a polygraph. So you have 2 shots, and then we'll both tell what our results are. Because I haven't been doing it for 25 years like this retired FBI guy. So in fairness to you, we'll do 2 of them. And most likely we will concur on the results. So that would mean it would be impossible for you to pass 2 of them if you were lying, in my opinion.
Okay.
So
can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, what you have to understand is very simple. All right, what you're proposing to me is an opportunity to prove my detractors wrong. Okay,
Absolutely.
That's exactly what this is. All right.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I'm
My
giving it to you. And by the way, by my own expense, I'm going to pay for the other polygrapher. I'm going to pay for the flight, the hotel. I'll pay for my meals. You don't have to pay for anything. I'm going to pay for it all.
Allow me to respond because you're not letting me respond.
Oh,
Allow me
go
to
ahead,
respond
go ahead.
properly to it. Okay.
All right.
My viewers, my supporters, the people who actually like me, who are on my streams every day, who watch my content, who support me via all these contributions, right? Don't give two flaming shits about anything that my detractors have issue with me. They don't. They know all about all the controversies. They've heard my answers. They're happy with them. You understand? They don't give a shit. In fact, if I bring it up on my streams, they get upset. Why are you bringing that up? You know we don't care. We don't care what this one said about you, what that one's saying about you.
That's fair enough, but wouldn't it be good to just turn the page and never have to answer any of these questions again after you pass a polygraph?
Let me finish the answer, because here's the second half of the answer here. The detractors that I have, all right, have found a financial incentive to never be satisfied by any answer I ever give, by anything.
Even if you pass a polygraph?
Even if I passed a polygraph, even if right now I opened up my bank account to show you all the information, even if I showed you every possible thing to clear up anything they've ever said about me, they wouldn't care, because they immediately pivot to the next thing they don't like, the next thing they can over dramatize, the next thing they can make drama out of.
But don't you think the people that are in your corner would say, like, look, he passed a polygraph. Those bank leaks weren't his spending. This is a non-issue anymore.
The people that are in my corner and don't care. Like I said, they literally don't want to talk about this shit ever again. They're done with it. This stuff is the bankruptcy stuff is 5 years in the past. Listen, you want to talk about criticize me and how I asked for contributions today? Fine. I will accept that. Sure. But we're talking about stuff that's done. That's been rehashed, done. It's done with. The reason my detractors keep bringing it up is because it makes them money. They can monetize this cult-like mentality of idiots who don't like me, and they make tons of bank on it. You've seen it yourself researching me. There is a network of these people who are making insane amounts of money, more than me, if you add them all together. So they're never going to be satiated. If right now you were here and you asked me the questions and I answered every one and you said, oh my God, you said the truth on every single answer.
Yeah, but
they wouldn't care.
Let me be very honest with you, Phil. I don't think that you'll pass either polygraph, and that's why you won't take it. I don't think you could pass a polygraph.
Hold on.
Based on the evidence that I found, and we're gonna show it to the audience tonight.
Did I say no yet?
You can't. Well, let's go.
Did I say no yet?
Make the decision.
I'm explaining to you.
Shit or get off the pot. There's a road to redemption right here. Right here, I'm giving you the road to redemption.
If
you could piss it away, and people are going to shit on you forever for passing up this road to redemption, or you could take the high road here and prove everybody wrong once and for all.
It's not the high road. That's bullshit. It's not the high road, because the people who care about me don't care about any of this. They don't. They're coming to my streams every day to enjoy games and to hang out. They don't care about any of this.
Don't you think that your supporters would like knowing that you didn't blow thousands of dollars on a mobile game?
I already told them
they were giving you money the whole time. You don't think they would benefit from that?
I've already fessed up that I did. I already cleared all that up. It's already happened.
Well, I guess in fairness, you may be right. But
so here's the definitive answer. Okay. The only way I will do it is if it actually benefits me, and it disproving my detractors does not benefit me in any way. So,
assuring your supporters that you didn't rip everybody off while you were spending tens of thousands of dollars on a mobile game would go a long way towards healing maybe some of your old supporters. Nope. Didn't you lose supporters over the bank leaks? Didn't people walk away from your show and never give you money again? Wouldn't they come back and say, I was wrong about DSP?
They would not come back. That's ludicrous. They would never come back. Those kind of people, if you're already going down this crazy cult-like hate-filled rabbit hole about someone, it doesn't matter anymore. You're already got your mind made up, and nothing's ever good enough. I know, because I've gone through this over a decade now, where I've had opportunities. I have proven some of this stuff wrong. They don't care. They're on to the next and the next and the next, and they keep moving the goalpost. So I'm not out to disprove my detractors. I don't give a shit about them. I care about the people who support me every day, and they don't care about this.
Everybody.
If this is going to happen, okay, if this is going to happen, I need to have actual real incentive for it to happen. It's that simple.
I need that money to pay my bills.
Oh, so in other words, you want me to pay you to take a polygraph to prove your innocence and help you prove your innocence?
There has to be.
I'm already paying for it. You know what? It's going to be a couple $1,000s for me to get a plane ticket, hotel, meals, whatever, and pay the other polygrapher. It's going to be a couple $1,000 just for that. Even if I put it on a monetized video when we're done, I don't think I'll recoup that. Now you want me to pay you on top of it? That's a little much.
It's your idea, and you're the one asking to do it, not me.
All right.
I don't care.
Let's move on to this next thing. And remember, I'm going to ask you to be honest with me. When it comes to the bank leaks, you said. This was on October 27th, just received a $1,500 bill for legal fees to clean up the identity theft I just went through in the USA. You get billed for being a victim of a federal crime. Needless to say, this is effed up, and I'm pretty upset to get the news on my day off of all days. So I wanted to ask you if you could let me talk to the attorney or show me the invoice privately.
Talk to the attorney or show you the invoice for what? This particular thing I'm referencing in the tweet?
Yeah, you basically said that you received $1,500 bill for legal fees. That would have to come from a lawyer, right, Phil? So you'd have a receipt, or you could show me a bank statement that you paid a lawyer $1,500 over these bank leaks. Because based on what my investigation uncovered, Phil, I don't believe that you paid any lawyer.
Would you like me to explain what this?
As long as you're not going to, yeah. But you've already explained what it meant. You said that you had to spend all this money to straighten this out.
But that's not elaborating. That's a very quick tweet. Doesn't explain the situation. I could tell you right now what this means.
Well, just give me the proof that you spent $1,500. It's a pretty simple thing to do.
I would have to go back. Well, I have to explain to you what it is.
Now you're talking in circles, though. Phil.
I'm not talking in circles. I want to tell you, but you're not letting me. Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Oh, but before you do,
no,
though,
why are you cutting me off? Let me answer.
All right, try to answer quickly. We got a lot to get through.
If you want me to answer the question, let me answer the question, or else don't ask it. Are you going to let me answer the questions?
Explain the $1,500 legal bills that you can't show proof of. Go ahead.
The legal bill is my tax people having to clean up the situation. Here's what happened. Because
so you paid an accountant.
I paid my tax attorney.
Okay.
That was that legal bill came.
That's what I see the invoice.
I see it's a legal bill. It's my tax attorney billed me for his time to clean this up because I was already on back payment.
Can you show me the invoice?
I could look for it. I don't know if I still have it. This is 4 years ago. I don't know if I have it.
I can call them and confirm if you give them permission to talk to me.
I can look for it. I mean, do you really think that I want people contacting my
tax
attorney?
I just want to show you this because I have a lawyer. I have a lawyer in my family. So he's written a non-disclosure agreement between you and I, which basically stipulates that whatever records you show with me, I'm only going to use to confirm or deny if you're telling the truth about all of this. I'm not going to share any personal information, account information, any identifying thing that could, because your argument is always, oh, this would put me in more danger. I'm going to look at the invoice and verify that you spent $1,500 over these bank leaks to clean it up. Whether you paid a tax attorney, a tax accountant, a lawyer, whatever.
That's what it is. It's all the tax attorney / accountant.
All right. Well, I'll give you this non-disclosure agreement, and then you don't have to worry about me disclosing anything other than, yes, he paid a tax attorney $1,500 to clean up this bank leaks mess.
Okay, but what's the point?
The point is to prove that you've been telling the truth, because I don't think you have been about the bank leaks specifically.
And I don't care if you believe me or not. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form.
All right.
Does it?
So you don't care?
No, I don't. I don't care. I don't. I really don't. Like, I'm a content creator who sits down and makes gaming content, streams, chill content for his audience. I'm past all this nonsense in the past. I, don't care about this stuff. We are so past it. This is like dredging up shit that we are already done
with. Because it's never been settled. Because here's the problem, Phil. You talk a lot of shit about your detractors, but they have receipts, and you never showed receipts.
What receipts do they have exactly?
What?
Well, I'll show you, but first let's do this here.
What receipts besides circumstantial stuff or stuff that they claim is real, but it's never been proven?
It's circumstantial. We're going to get into it then. But before we do, I just want to remind you of what you said previously about the bank leaks, because I don't think that you're being honest with your viewers or the world in general about these bank leaks based on the information that I found in my investigation in these past couple of weeks.
The entire thing, bank leak stuff, is fake. There was no bank leaks that ever happened to me. That whole thing was fabricated by my detractors. I don't even know what information they got or who they got it from, but it wasn't me. Like, they'd be like, what about the bank leaks and what about this and that? Like, what about them? Did you analyze them? Can you show them on stream? Can you prove that those are real?
And just so you're aware, Phil, I did analyze them, and I can show them on stream right now and prove that they're real. I don't believe that you've been honest about the bank leaks. I think you lied about a lot of that, because it's in your benefit to lie. You don't want your detractors to know how much you've been spending on gin and wine and DoorDash and a WWE game.
Why would it matter?
Or let's get to the bank leaks, especially. You say they're fake.
Hold on.
Phil,
why would it matter?
In order for them to be fake, the person that faked them would have to know what kind of car you drive, who your internet service provider is, who your electric company was, who your garbage company was, what their monthly charge was at the time of the bank leaks for people living in your area at the time of those leaks. They'd have to know what restaurants you eat at and when you ate at them. They'd have to know when and where your wife gets haircuts. They'd have to know what your local water company was and what you pay them every month. They'd have to know when you go to Burger King. They'd have to know when you go out to eat, when you do DoorDash, when and where you go grocery shopping, how much your back tax payments are, what your mortgage company is and how much you pay that every month, how much you're making on YouTube. They'd have to know how much you're making on Twitch, what accounting firm you use, and what they're charging you. The odds of somebody knowing all that information, it's like it would take a 007 CIA operative to fake these. Phil, you don't see that? Do you understand that there's direct correlation? You say I went to Burger King, and the Burger King charges there on that day or the day before, you say, I'm getting a haircut. 8 times somebody caught you saying you're getting a haircut, and those haircuts are on the bank leaks. And do you understand that the person that did that is a retired police officer? The person that found that information is a retired police officer. I think he's called Darksydephil.
Oh, I don't know.
They'd have to know all of this information. In order to fake them, it would take like a team of people. And here's the other thing.
Okay.
Do you understand that like people can track things down? So
sure.
you know where those leaks came from, right? They came from an audio recording of somebody who socially engineered on their telephone basically calling an online teller at your bank and listing off all of the charges for that whole 18-month period. And here's what I found out in the course of my investigation. Let's just take a listen.
On September 13th, a pre-authorized payment of $120.27 from Comcast. On September 13th, a pre-authorized payment of $112.28 from Apple iTunes. On September 3rd.
All right, so it's enough to say that somebody sat on a telephone for 5 hours. Now, I went through the first 5 hours of it. It matches the bank leaks 100%. And I also contacted the bank. This is the online teller at the time. That's the voice they use. So for somebody to fake this, they would have to have the software development kit for the telephony for this bank software and the text-to-speech that's used in this. They'd need the software development kit. Do you know what that costs?
No, I don't know what that costs.
It costs tens of thousands of dollars. Somebody would have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to fake this 5-hour phone call with your online bank teller, Phil. You don't think that sounds like overwhelming evidence that they're real? You mean to tell me one of your detractors spent 10 grand on a software development kit?
Are you going to let me respond now?
Okay, let's hear it.
So you're saying that you heard this clip, this 5-hour clip that supposedly someone recorded off of some phone line, and this is 100% indisputable evidence that it's true. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that I went through and somebody really did sit on this online teller and then transcribe every charge to a spreadsheet. It matches this 5-hour recording. Do you know the time it would take somebody to first fake this recording? And then again, they'd have to know everything you spend money on and all of these charges that are near your house. Did you know that all the charges are within just a few miles of your house? And that correlates perfectly to, being right near your house. You can see in these charts, it shows that you spent more on transactions most month than your mortgage payment while you're begging your audience for money for your bills.
That wasn't my question. My question is, are you done talking about the bank leaks so that I can respond and we can move on?
Oh, yeah, I can show you more evidence. All right.
I'm just waiting for you to be done, and then I'll respond. Because there's no.
All right, all right, then fine. I'll show you some more evidence, and you can try to explain all of this away. The haircuts, Phil. The haircuts. The haircuts ruin your grift. The haircuts ruin your grift, and here's why. Curls and twirls. Is that your wife, Phil?
No.
On the website, you're going to say that's not her? Do I got to get a
so.
facial recognition expert to show that's her?
I don't think that's her.
Where did you get your haircut, Phil? Where did you get your haircut?
I'm not going to tell you because then people are going to.
You can't tell me because you get your haircut at Curls and Twirls.
Did you hear what I just said?
Your wife's on the website, Phil.
Steve, are you listening to what I'm saying? Did you hear what I just said?
You said you can't tell me because your detractors will use it against you.
That's not what I said at all.
Tell me again.
You got to calm down. Listen. I get it. I do. You're excited. You think you got me on something. It's all good. And I'm actually
I got you, Phil. I got you. I haven't even started on these bank leaks. There's a mountain of evidence that it's you.
Steve, I want you to understand something, all right? At the end of the day, when we're done here, I'm not going to be upset with you at all. I want you to understand that, okay? All right? Because you're getting very agitated. You're talking over me. You still haven't even let me respond yet to what you're saying. I've been asking, and you keep going, all right? I can't say where I get my hair cut, because if I tell you, they will harass the person who cuts my hair. Do you understand that? They'll find them. They'll still fuck with their public information.
All right, so can you show me the receipts to where you get your haircut during the bank leaks period that wasn't Curls and Twirls then, privately?
Steve.
Okay. That's the problem.
Your
detractors have receipts. You don't have any receipts, Phil. You have excuses and lies and obfuscation. You're trying to keep the grift going. I get it. Because if people know for sure those bank leaks are yours, nobody will give you money ever again. Because you begged for money to pay your bills and you spend it on stupid shit. Let's get into this.
Since we have a control, that being Phil's hair, we can see if Phil got a trim around the times in which beauty and personal hygiene were logged.
Steve,
the oldest entry is October 14th, 2020.
You're wasting your time.
If you're unfamiliar with the banking industry,
I guess
sometimes the charge will post and clear the same day, or it may take 1 to 3 days. So, anyway, using PigPigGo, I found this from October 12th.
Oh my
At the
goodness.
same time, I gotta go grocery shopping. We have appointments we have to get to. I'll enjoy the haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut.
Oh, I'm gonna get a haircut.
Just starting to get long.
This implies the day off was tomorrow, October 13th, and the charge cleared October 14th. We have a total of 8 haircuts in the lease. So far, we're 1 of 8. The next cut is logged December 9th, and here's Phil on December 7th.
That's right, and I'm getting a haircut. You're absolutely right, Salvano Face, remember. I'm getting a haircut as well tomorrow, so a super busy day for me.
2 down, 6 to go. The
2
next
haircuts.
log, January
Match them
20,
days.
2021.
Steve,
Here's
we get
Phil
the point.
on January
We don't
18th.
have to see the other 6.
Grocery shopping,
Steve,
pet
we
shopping.
get the point.
But this is what I'm talking about, receipts.
Trying to get my haircut
Here's,
tomorrow.
here's receipts.
Logged March 3rd,
Match the bank
and Phil
leaks.
on March
Public
3rd.
statements
I guess
match the
zoomed
bank
out.
leaks, Phil.
I did get a haircut. It's much closer now than it was, like much closer to the head.
So, come on, Phil. 8 out of 8 times they accurately guessed when you were getting a haircut and put it on those bank leaks, and they made the fake recording of the teller talking about the haircuts.
Yes.
They fucked it up, and now I'm gonna get fucked over, not them.